Hey there, Ghost. This is Will from Ghost Gamer News. Today we're going to review a rifle. Now, ordinarily I've done these in the past on my personal channel, but we're actually going to start doing these on the Ghost Gamer News channel. So, that said, let's get to it. Today we are talking about the AUG Scout. This is a AR to DMR conversion rifle that was supposed to be in the 3.0 update, but there was a bug and they had it patched in the 303 update, and I just got it. I didn't even have to find another tactical cache to get it. But anyways, we are reviewing this sucker. Now, for those of you who are new to my rifle reviews, here is how this works. For DMRs, I test their range at 400 meters, utilizing the best range boosting equipment as possible. Now, as of this moment, underbarrel, stuff like grip pod and bipod that have stat boosts to range don't actually boost range. So we can ignore that. And future testing, supposedly that's being fixed in an upcoming update. We'll see. But for future testing, we won't be utilizing anything boosting range in the underbarrel, just so we have a good comparison to the other rifles we've already tested. I have a rangefinder equipped. Now, interestingly enough, this does not support this optics I normally use for testing, which is the T5XI for sniper rifles and the dual range scope for DMRs. However, it does support the VC16, which is 1x26x variable zoom. So we will be utilizing that, and it actually works out to be a pretty good thing in this testing. So first, we're just going to do a quick bullet drop test here at my ranging location. We are in Smuggler's Cove. In this area here, we're very close to the Dead Horse Swamp bivouac, and we're shooting out to a building out here. And for DMRs, like I said, I always test at 400 meters. So here's what we're going to do here. We're just going to fire off a round right at the center there. And we're going to zoom in. Now, if you're paying close attention, you may have saw where that flare went, that flash when it hit. So there's our round. That's where it hit. So we'll look at this compared to the other DMRs later on in the video. Let's move on, though, and also talk about why this works out with this optic. You'll notice approximately the 4 here. Yeah, that hits about on the 4 dot, so that's 400 meters. That works out really well. And it's pretty much the same. There's a little bit of variable to it, not much. But you can test this up to 500 meters comfortably. So we'll do 3, and now 3 will hit, let's see here, I believe it's a little low. So I'm gonna, yeah, it's just a hair low on the 3 hash mark, and then we'll get up to 200 here. I have not actually tested at 200, but I'm going to assume it's either at or just below the center of the crosshair. Now, this is with ballistic advantage. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it looks like it's just below. Yep, just below. So, that makes the VC16 optic pretty darn useful for the AUG Scout. Of course, I would love the VC16 more if it was a first focal plane optic, but it is not. So that's that. But anyways, doesn't matter that much. Alright, next we're going to talk about sound detection range. And for this we need to find some enemies. Here we go. And these guys are stationary, it looks like, which is good. So, let's see here. I need to get one of them marked. We'll mark this guy here so I can have a clearer picture of range. Alright. So, we're going to start out here at 165, unsuppressed. And I'm pretty sure this is not going to be heard. Yeah, nothing. We're going to creep up to 1... we're going to creep up to 155, yeah. Nothing. Okay, and then we're just going to go up 1 meter and fire each time. $150. So that's about what we'd expect. It's $149 for the Mark 17, the M4A1. So that's not bad still. So unsuppressed, 150 meters. Now we need to let that guy calm down, pop on our suppressor here, and we're going to get up nice and close. Now the suppressed is pretty variable for some of these. M4A1 was actually 22 on suppressed detection range. But the, I'm going to go ahead and take him out actually, because we only need the one guy. I apologize for the stuttering. I've been having some performance issues with Breakpoint as of late. So, we're going to start out at 25 meters here. Get him marked, just to help us a little bit. Okay. Actually, let's start out at 30. Nothing. 29. Nothing. And we're actually going to crouch down. 28. 27. Wow. We're getting there. This is pretty significant here. There we go, 16 meters. So that is pretty good. That's the Mark 17 Scout was 14 suppressed. So, yeah, alright. Now, we get to move on to the really fun part, and that is damage testing. For those of you who don't know it, the damage stat lies in Breakpoint. And so we do all of our damage testing at the bivouac here. And we're going to be shooting up against a Landscape Mark II to see just how many rounds does it take to destroy the vehicle. So, switch our garage here to Landscape Mark II. I always do the digital just because. Now, with these AR to DMR conversion rifles, it takes a lot of rounds. I mean, a lot of rounds to take out the target. Target vehicle. 149 or 120 for the M4A1 and 104 for the Mark 17 Scout. So let's see how we do here. We're going to get ourselves positioned up here. I'm going to shoot just above the wheel well. I'm going to go ahead and put on burst fire. So that's one mag. That's 30 rounds down. Two mags, and we're smoking. Okay, we're going to switch to single shot now. Okay, we're at 90 rounds. So that is 97 rounds. That is actually pretty significant there. That is better than the other rifles I've been talking about here, the M4A1 and the Mark 17. So, generally speaking, I mean, that's, yeah. Let me pull up my numbers here that I've got written down, just so we can talk a bit about this. And while I'm moving back out of the way here, away from the burning car, we're going to pull up the comparison chart so you can see everything, and we can start talking these numbers. So, numbers-wise, compared to other conversion rifles, the AUG Scout is actually pretty darn significant. Not as powerful as the AK-74 Scout on damage, or the 553 Scout. But, you know, it's still significant. So, this is probably one of the better conversion rifles. But let's talk all three of these new rifles that have been added together. The M4A1 Scout is detected within 149 meters unsuppressed, within 22 meters suppressed, and takes 120 shots. That's 4 30-round magazines to destroy the target vehicle. The Mark 17 Scout is, once again, 149 meters unsuppressed, 14 meters suppressed, which is significant, and 104 shots to destroy the target vehicle. Now compare that to the AUG Scout. Remember, this is 150 meters unsuppressed, 17 meters suppressed, 97 shots. Really a pretty minimal difference between the Mark 17 Scout and the AUG Scout in damage. The AUG Scout's slightly higher, just slightly. But it all depends on what you want, how you want to equip it, because there are some additional details to consider. First off, the AUG Scout with ballistic advantage and a rangefinder with the VC16 lines up pretty well to make use of the reticle. That's great. If you need something variable zoom and want to use ballistic advantage and reduce your bullet drop, the AUG Scout is a good option if you like AR to DMR conversion rifles. Now, on the other hand, the Mark 17 Scout, you can utilize the, let me pull my sheet up here. There we go. You can use the TARS 101 with no range boosting attachments, no ballistic advantage, and at each point in the reticles, zeroed at 100 meters, is 100 meters. So, center of the crosshair is 100, bottom of the crosshair is 200, first big line 300, 400, 500, 600, etc. So, yeah, that's another great advantage. And really, it's not as big of a deal to not have the variable zoom, because at shorter ranges, you can just switch to over-the-shoulder view. And especially making use of your optics laser. You know, if you're using one of the laser options to help you aim. Perfectly usable that way. So, we got two very good, very versatile AR to DMR conversion rifles out of the 3.0 update. Now, I'm not saying the M4A1 Scout is bad, it's just not as versatile. It's a cool rifle, don't get me wrong, but numbers-wise, it doesn't add up. Because you're missing out on damage, suppressed detection range, and based on my testing thus far, now if they do make the underbarrel attachments boost range like the stats say they do, then we'll see potentially an optic we can use with it, and you make use of the reticle properly. But until then, the Mark 17 Scout and the AUG Scout are your best bets. So, alright Ghosts, that's what I have for you. I hope this information was useful to you, and let me know if there is anything else you'd like me to see me cover in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You can see I have been grinding out classes like crazy. I have maxed out Sharpshooter, Panther, Pathfinder, and almost maxed out Medic. And really, I don't think I'm going to max it completely just because I wanted the Medic's cool coat. Yeah. But, yeah. So, don't forget to check out Ghost Gamer News. https://ghostgamer.news. We're covering all sorts of great stuff. I will be finally putting up a review of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I will be doing a 1 year later review of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, considering how much has changed in the game since it first launched. And, of course, we will be covering Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out. So, if you're interested in the stealth and hacking and even potentially sniping mechanics in Cyberpunk 2077, you will want to watch for Ghost Gamer News coverage, because, in case you didn't know, Ghost Gamer News covers that sort of thing in detail, much more than any other news site would typically. So, that's what I got for you, Ghosts. Have a good one.